What's up, people? This is Boogie from Boogie's Place. It's my opinion. You already know how we do it on this channel, man. I always got to give my opinion on something. So, I'm going to give my opinion on this Brittany Grinder, WNBA Angel Reese shit. You already know. Yes, sir. So this is Boogie from Boogie's Place. It's my opinion. You know how we do it on this channel, man. I always got to give my opinion on something. So today I'm gonna give my opinion on this Brittany Grinder thing that's going on, man. We gonna get into this because this is kind of crazy, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. When Brittany Grinder first came in, I think it was like 2015, something like that. I think she'd been in the NBA for about a good 8-9 years. And I think it was 2015 when she first hit the NBA. And when she first hit the NBA, I honestly was skeptical. I honestly was looking at her like, something ain't right here, bro. Like, listen, she ain't built like no average woman. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first seen her, yeah, there's nothing in me that couldn't tell me that she's not female. She's not female. She my opinion. This is my opinion. Brittany Grinder's a man, and I've been thinking this. I've never said anything because there wasn't an outcry the way it is now. There wasn't too much evidence around it. It was just hush hush. Everything was hush hush with Brittany. You know, when the subject came up, it wasn't something that people really wanted to touch. But you just don't come out and accuse somebody of being a man. That's something that you really just don't do. And there's a lot of things that go on into this. And I'm gonna try and make it this as short as possible. But sometimes I have a habit of making my videos a little too long. But this subject here is worth talking about because this got a lot to do with the NBA too, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But as far as Brittany Grinder, there's a lot of evidence that's floating around that Brittany Grinder is not who she says she is, not who she says she is. And one of the things that came up was something that Stephen A. brought out. I don't even like Stephen A. no more, but he got paperwork. He says, I don't know where he got it from. He's not saying where he got it from, but supposedly he has some DNA evidence that says that Brittany Grinder is a man, that she's not who she says she is, and that there's that, and then there's another report that comes out supposedly from Russia where when Brittany Grinder got arrested, remember when Brittany Grinder got arrested and she was in Russian prison, I think for about a year or so, and they were, doing talks to try to get her out. Supposedly, when she was in the Russian prison, that she was with the men. She wasn't with the women. Why would Russia put her with the men? Because supposedly when she got arrested in Russia, they did some DNA testing on her. And they must know something that we don't know because they put her in the Russian jail. The other thing with that is when they made the exchange for, I don't know the guy's name, but supposedly he was called the Minister of Death or something like that. I know that it had something to do with death, but he was supposedly an orchestrator of some terrible shenanigans going on in Russia. He was actually killing people, or offing people, excuse me, I'm sorry. He was offing people. And it is said that Brittany Grinder was in the jail with the men. She wasn't locked up with the women. Why is that? Why would you take somebody who liked to off people and exchange them for a basketball player, Brittany Grinder? So I'm thinking to myself, there must be something that Russia know that we don't know. So when they made that exchange, it was more or less like, okay, we'll do this, and we won't tell nobody. You give us this, and we'll take this. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but this transgender and sports thing is floating around crazy. And that's the one thing I do not like with the Democrats and what they're doing right now. But that's a whole different subject. All I'm saying is that this narrative is being pushed out there. And coming back to the NBA, the reason why I say the NBA has culpability, they run the WNBA, the NBA. They run the WNBA. So for them to not know that Brittany is a man, or not even test her, there's so many stories about Brittany. It's a shame. I seen a video with Brittany Griner, and she's shirtless. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. I'm sorry. It's on Instagram. First of all, the talk about Instagram is you can't do nothing on Instagram as far as showing, explicit. You want to show your chest. She showed her chest. She got her chest. She's in by the poolside, shirtless, with a little manly chest. She don't even have breasts. She looks like a man. Her chest. So she's by the poolside, shooting baskets in the pool. You know how they have the basketball hoop in the pool? So she's shooting baskets in the pool. She turns around to the camera, bare chested, and her chest looked like a man's. Bro, if this is true, the NBA got a lot of explaining to do. Because that is insane. And people are saying that the WNBA knew about this. People are saying that the WNBA knew about this, and they stay quiet all this time. Now, another thing is, if you got going around social media, all across social media right now, that Brittany Griner is not who she says she is, don't you think that somebody would come out and say something? The NBA would come out and say, oh, we tested her with this is this, and this is that, and this is this. You don't hear nothing. Nothing from the WNBA. I've heard stories about how Brittany Griner through all these years don't dress around the NBA women. She doesn't expose herself, and from what I hear, this is from sources that I've heard outside of the camp, that she doesn't dress normally like the women. The other thing is she got a girlfriend, Brittany Griner, and supposedly the word is they had a kid together. Supposedly the word is that Brittany got her pregnant. The girl pregnant. Brittany got her pregnant. That's what the word is. There's no testing on it. There's no nothing. But all this is speculation. But in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. And something tells me that Brittany Griner is a man. You look at her Adam's apple. It's thick as hell. Her Adam's apple is not like a woman's Adam's apple. Her Adam's apple is like a man. Look at her Adam's apple. That is a man's Adam's apple. It's not a woman. Women have a nice petite Adam's apple. Even if they work out, you can still tell they're a woman when you look at their Adam's apple. Men, you can tell by their Adam's apple most of the time that they're men. The way she talk, the way she move, that's a man. And she pulled one over on the NBA, and the truth is starting to come out, because I've seen, and this is what brought this to my attention. Ever since she called that girl Caitlin Clark, I guess they had an incident on the bench where she fouled Caitlin Clark, and she went to the bench and she called her effing white girl. That got a lot of attention, and that got a lot of blowback. And you don't mess with the star at the NBA when she bringing in millions and you're bringing in nothing. And the commissioner came out, and supposedly she got blackballed. Supposedly after all this information came out, all the other information been floating around for years. About the thing with her on Instagram showing her chest, and there's interviews with her where she sounds straight like a man. Like, she sounds straight like a man. And for the life of me, I bring the NBA into this only because the NBA is just as shiesty. You know what I mean? The NBA is just as grimy. Look at LeBron James, man. Not to get off subject, but look at LeBron James. He been accused of steroids for the last 10 years. You would think they would test him for it. You would think that they would talk about it, say that he's not doing it. They won't say nothing. The NBA is just as dirty in playing those games. Look at the Luka thing. Luka gets traded, all of a sudden they get the young boy, I can't remember his name right now, Cooper Flag. All of a sudden you get an 8% chance to get Cooper Flag, and you nail him as soon as you got rid of Luka. Shit in the NBA is funny, and I would not put past them trying to promote that transgender thing, or just letting it evolve. So I just wanted to give that update on the Brittany Griner, man. I seen it, and it really bothered me, and I felt like I needed to make a video on it because you know. The other one is Angel Reese. That's a whole different video in itself, but you know what? I'm gonna leave that for another time. But that's a whole nother video. Angel Reese. She's wild. But as far as Brittany Griner go, as far as the WNBA go, they gonna have problems. They're gonna have real problems, man, because it's going to come out. I don't care how they tried to shut her out. They basically took her. Supposedly they took her jerseys and they took her off the roster and all this kind of nonsense. They tried to blackball her, but you can't blackball somebody. Well, you can, but there's too much people who want to know, and it's going to get found out either way. So she looking real distressed right now. She looking real uptight right now, and I don't know, man, but listen, the way it's looking to me, she's a man. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's my opinion. This is Boogie from Boogie's Place Hood Talk. Excuse me. Sorry, that's my old channel. This is Boogie's Place. That's my opinion. On YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And again, man, I want to apologize to everybody, you know, for losing my other page. And I just hope that you like, subscribe, and comment, man, and put me back on the map, bro. I love y'all. And if you like, comment, please like, subscribe, comment. Again, I send all my videos, man. It don't cost you nothing, man. So I love y'all, and peace. I'm out.